Brakes are getting a workout there, and if your car makes any noise when you hit the brakes, it might be time to get them looked at.
But don't go just anywhere. Watch out for bargain brake jobs. Our Monday morning mechanic, David Rogers from Keller Brothers Auto Repair, joining us live to explain. Hi, David.
Hey, good morning, Natalie. Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good.
Good. Hey, I am here to explain there have been some breakthroughs in our technology. Today, what you have, when you hear those squealing, screeching brakes and the grinding sounds, and you look at your wheels and you've got all this black, nasty dust stuff inside, you know, and this is a cover, but you get it on your rims. I know people have seen it. It's hard to clean off. Well, that's from the metal that they used to use in the pads, and they also used asbestos, which we all know is a dangerous thing. You know, here's some typical cheap brake pads, and these are just the cheap metal stuff that you'll get at those cheap brake jobs. They look nice and thick, which give you a false sense of security when they wear off in about a third the time that they should. The other thing that you're going to see a lot of out there is in a bargain brake job, or where the pads have been installed incorrectly. I mean, you can see how this pad has two levels. There's a lip there. There's no lip when it starts. There should be no lip when it's finished. There's a flat pad worn down with no lip. This lip's there. And when you see the rotor over here, this isn't exactly the same pad, but it's a similar situation where they used the wrong size brake pad, and so it wore and was flush on part of the rotor and not on part of the rotor. You know, you can see some other used rotors here where the whole surfaces run smooth. What we think about today when we think about good brakes, we think about something called ceramics. Now, granted, these bargain joints will sell you a so-called ceramic pad, but it's probably a mixture of metals and ceramics, and if not, it's going to be the cheapest possible blend of ceramics, and there again, you're back to something not valuable. But these ceramic pads, the neat thing about them, number one, they're not made out of metal. Number two, they have no asbestos in them. Number three, they last longer than regular brake pads. And number four, they create no static charge, therefore not causing this dust situation. This is from a static charge from the metal pads meeting the metal rotor, and then it sticks right to the first surface that it gets off of, or that it can connect to, excuse me. Another neat product that we have today is a hybrid pad. Maybe you have a car that's been to 2 or 3 places and it still makes lots of noise. These pads are really special. They have 2 different kinds of ceramic in them. They're designed to stop those kind of noises. I know our own reporter, Chris Parente, contacted me recently and said that he's having a car that's been to the dealer, been to different places, still making noise. I told him, bring it to me. I'm going to put some of these on it and we'll make Chris's noise go away. The next thing I want to talk about are the rotors themselves. You know, I've got some different varieties here. Here's one that actually came apart. You can see that the lug part's missing in the center. Again, that's a cheap rotor. That's one of your cheap Chinese jobs. Somebody got a good deal on it, or so they thought, until their car started making horrible noise and couldn't go anywhere else. So spend a little more money, get a quality rotor. What you see here are the newest generation of rotors, and these are vented in order to allow the rotor to cool off faster. Sometimes when you get in a car and you step on the brakes and it vibrates, you feel that terrible vibration just when you're braking. That's from these rotors getting too hot and starting to warp or bend, and you don't have a nice flat surface. This makes it cool much faster. It's gonna not have that vibration problem. The biggest thing I can tell you about brake jobs is it's like anything else your parents told you about. If it sounds too good to be true, don't buy it. 99 bucks isn't enough to pay for even the pads on a really quality brake job. So don't go out and think you're buying cheap and getting more. It'll only last a few thousand miles, and you're going to be stuck paying somebody to do it again.
You know, the only part I like is the part that stops Chris's noise. That was the best part. I lost you after that.
No, this will only stop the noise coming from the wheels.
Oh, well, anything that shuts down Chris's noise is a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, David, thanks so much.
Thanks. Take care, guys.
Zebra